more NBA news was the All NBA teams came out in these past few days. I'll read them here and then we can react to them. The third team is the guards Chris Paul, Trae Young, forwards LeBron, Siakam, and then Towns was the center. The second team, Steph Curry and Morant are the backcourt. Then DeRozan, Durant, and Embiid up front. And then the first team, the guards are Luka and Devin Booker, Giannis, Tatum, and Jokic. So pretty interesting. I mean, LeBron, you have him on the third team. He becomes the all-time leader in all NBA teams. I think this was his 19th this year. So
I think it was 18th or 17th, but yeah.
Yeah, so he sets the record. I mean, I don't know. Honestly, I feel like it's definitely because of his injuries that he made third team, but I probably would have had him higher. This was one of the best statistical years of his career.
You would have had him higher?
Yeah. In terms of just pure stats. I don't care about that. I don't care about winning at all on the NBA teams.
No, that's what? Then why don't you have I don't know. Then why shouldn't Trae Young be on the first team or something? Because he had a better season than Devin Booker.
Because he's not
probably.
better than Luka.
But he's better than Devin Booker. Yeah, it's like 30 and 10.
I mean, he's
Everyone
not
forgets
better
about
than
that.
Devin Booker.
Yes, he is. He had a better season than Devin Booker. It's just the Suns won 64 games. I think winning matters on the All-NBA teams. That's an interesting take. I think LeBron's fine on the third team. Yeah, it was a great statistical season, like you said. But his team was terrible. His team was garbage this year, and they didn't even make the play. And the New Orleans Pelicans without Zion made it over them. That's disgraceful. So I think LeBron's fine on the third team. I think winning does matter on the NBA teams because that's why Tatum made it over KD. KD had probably a better season than Jason Tatum, but he just played less games. And the Nets were a 7th seed, just like a terrible chemistry-wise team. Unlike the Celtics, who turned it around and finished as the 2 seed. So I think winning matters. I mean, that's the only reason why Booker's on the first team. Like, Trae Young and LeBron had better seasons than him, if you want to say that. So would you put LeBron on your first team then if you're saying his stats are so good?
I mean, no, because I think Giannis should be first team, and Tatum, I don't think it's that terrible that he's on the first team. I would have had him over DeMar on the second team, though.
I wouldn't have. The Bulls made the playoffs, and DeMar had like an incredible season.
Yeah, but why should winning impact the All NBA teams? If you're
saying
really
that,
then
you're also saying then it has to go both ways. Like, you have to say winning shouldn't matter for the MVP then, because it's the same type of thing.
That's completely different.
No, not really, because the MVP is on the All NBA first team every time, and like all the best players in the league win.
But okay, for MVP, of course you're going to take winning into account because.
But why shouldn't you take
winning? It's most valuable. It's impacting winning and leading your team definitely to the postseason. Definitely,
that's
to
what
the
All NBA
seed.
teams are. It's the
All
best
NBA
players.
Teams is not like that. It's just All NBA, just the best players.
Yeah, well, they value winning a lot, and I think winning should matter. LeBron should be fine. He should stay in the third team. Trae Young had a better season than Devin Booker. You want me to read you Trae Young's stats right now?
Yeah,
this is better than whatever Devin Booker did. He averaged 28 points, 9.7 assists. So he averaged 28 and 10 basically. 46 from the field, 38 from 3, 10 win shares. Let's see what Devin Booker did. Devin Booker did not have a better season. I know this for a fact because I was looking at it the other day. Devin Booker averaged 27, 5 and 5. And
that's good
less
enough.
PR, less win shares, less PR, worse from 3, and 0.6 better from the field, and worse free throws, and worse efficient field goal. He was worse than Trae Young in every category, but Trae Young's was he on the third team? Yeah, he's on the third team, and Booker made the first team. So if you're saying winning doesn't matter, the Hawks obviously were not a top 3 seed like the Suns, and Trae Young but he had the best year statistically for any guard this year, besides Luka.
Yeah, so okay, maybe he should be on the first over Booker then.
But I don't think he should because
I'm not
the
saying
Suns were a 64-win team.
I'm not saying they didn't consider winning. I'm just saying they shouldn't.
It. Well, I'm saying they should, and I think that what they do is fine.
It's definitely very different than the MVP though. That was a bad comparison.
Not really, because the MVP is like it's like the same kind of thing. It's a regular season award. Winning and stats matter to it, so it's like It's just only one person can win MVP, not five guys could be on the first team. Like the first team All NBA, that's the top five in MVP voting pretty much. So it is kind of comparable. Like Booker finished way ahead of Trae Young in MVP voting because his team won 64 games.
Right. But that makes sense. I'm just saying he shouldn't be on the All NBA first team if his stats are worse.
Well, his
And his
stats are
numbers
worse
are
than a lot of
worse.
guys. Booker, he probably had worse stats than DeRozan this year. But he's on the first team because
Well,
obviously
that's a different position, so it
they're
doesn't
both
matter.
guards pretty much.
But, well, DeRozan's in here as a forward. Anybody that was completely snubbed off the list that you think should have made it over like Siakam, who started the year injured, didn't
No,
play
the
complete
Raptors made the
season.
playoffs. He had a good year. I think he's fine there. I think this is fine. I saw Donovan Mitchell didn't make it, but I don't even think Donovan Mitchell had that great of a season to be honest. So, and they also, they lost in the first round. Granted, that doesn't even matter because this is a regular season. But
What about no Jimmy Butler? You
I think
think
he was
winning
hurt for a
matters?
lot
They
of
were
the
the
year,
number one.
right?
They were the number one seed.
Well,
Well,
I
LeBron was
actually,
hurt. LeBron was hurt, and he made it, and his team didn't win. So if you're
well,
gonna weigh winning,
let's Jimmy averaged 21 this year. I mean, that's pretty bad to be on any NBA team in my opinion.
okay,
if
but he was the number one seed.
If he averaged a few more points, all right, wait, he actually did average more win shares than LeBron, so that is impressive actually. Worst PER. I don't know. I wouldn't hate actually if you put Jimmy on the third team over LeBron because his team got the first seed and LeBron went to Cancun. I don't hate that actually, but I think the All NBA teams. I think it's right. Um, the first team All NBA, they're all under 27. Which is like the first time in like since 1950 something or 60 something where all the players are like under age 27 or some shit or 25. It was something like that. Crazy. Um, so the league is in bright. It has a bright future. It's in the hands of great players. I mean, Luka, Tatum, Jokic, these guys are all great. Yeah.
Yeah, so clearly different philosophies there. I don't know. I think winning should matter for the MVP, not for the All NBA. I think there's just too many players, and it should be based on statistics because you could be on a really bad team and have an incredible year and deserve some recognition. I mean, there have been
Yeah.
instances where players, I mean, LeBron is one of them not making the playoffs, but there are players like Trae Young and these people that have been on terrible teams and have been able to make All NBA. I just don't think it should limit you based on that. The MVP is a different conversation because it's talking about value. What did you do for your team? Were you able to drag them to the postseason, even if the roster around you is not necessarily that good? There's different ways to weight it. I think All NBA.
I guess so, but I think winning should matter a little bit when you're talking about players.
Okay.
Because I'd rather have a guy that averages 28 on a 50-win team than a guy who averages 28 on a 20-win team. You know, like obviously their teammates are big components of why their record's like that. But still, you should get you deserve more credit for winning 50 games than 20. Like, come on.
That's probably true.
Yeah, because we know there's a lot. I mean, think about it. I mean, that's why winning matters. I think that's why they care about winning so much. Because honestly, in today's game, anyone could average like 28 points. Think about how many guys average 25 plus now. Like everyone could just score the hell out of the ball. Like, so I think there needs to be some kind of thing in the middle that weights it, and I think winning is that. Because like anyone could score a lot of points on a bad team, but can you actually lead them anywhere? Like we were thinking Trae Young couldn't do that, but then he led them to the playoffs these last 2 years, so he changed the narrative.
Yeah. All right. Do we want to stop? I don't want to introduce a new topic with 8 minutes.
All right.